Hello, and a very good day to you all. But with just a gentle touch of nature's embrace, you absolutely won't feel this uncomfortable sensitivity. These particular sensitivities are indeed very different and distinct. Here I tried to create a certain feeling and bring it into this work. Pay attention to the feeling of the work, with a very good contrast. Also, try to focus the layers well, so you can highlight those parts from the state that exists in these areas. I try to carefully open up the specific layers from this particular part and remove the hardness of the lines. I activate the default settings in the chair component and carefully descend the overall mesh area to a lower level. The entire surface has been meticulously smoothed and polished to achieve a perfectly even and refined finish. I do it so that I won't have problems with other parts. Done. I go back to the layer so that something falls onto the shadows, and from here I control the highlights. We finish up in this Photoshop video, and I exit the sound and move on to adjusting the contrast. I begin the process of adjusting the color saturation gently, and I really don't let it get excessively high, so that the colors are sensitive. Now let's separate them so we can adjust these colors individually, making the work more precise. Thank you for this. Work with the green using the Vid tool. In the next layer, I increase it and adjust its saturation. Then I move on to the next layer. At this point, I also make the effects and visibility of these green layers easier for myself, and to control the hues as well. The green-yellow layers. I increase their saturation. I adjust their intensity a bit. I also push these tones towards green. And from here, at this stage, you really need to control it. In the next layers, I move forward and try to apply and limit the same effect in this section. And what I do here is try to isolate the highlights in this section. I endeavor to separate it as distinctly and thoroughly as possible, and if the overall visual presentation does not appear aesthetically pleasing, I then proceed to carefully adjust its precise amount and proportion. That particular aspect is now quite clearly and distinctly visible to this considerable and noticeable extent. I need to reduce this part so it doesn't cause problems for the work. I apply the blast to that section, then I move on to this blue part. I add it as needed. I completely control the overall saturation levels from this particular section of the interface. Here I come to this part. Pay close attention to the overall saturation here, and if I want to significantly increase it, I will specifically focus on this particular section. This is primarily due to the inherent harshness, but we can effectively control and manage it at a later stage. Another thing we can do is, you reach the end in this section. We didn't do much. What was this incident? In Aris, this happens for this section. We weren't in any other section. We apply it so the noise is removed, then it moves on to the next effect, and from this section it goes to the next effect. The blur is on me. I add it here. I carefully adjust it. From this particular section, it then seamlessly goes into the rest of the various lighting effects, and I also try to smoothly and meticulously smooth out the prominent lens flare as well. I simply select Adobe After Effects. Its position is permanently fixed, and I manage its overall scale. That one, I don't use it. I have to put it underneath to make it better. Yes. In this section, I should stand up so that part is captured. Then I'll adjust the scale of this as well so it matches the project. I'll open the scale for the project, and I'll open this one too. I genuinely believe that this particular arrangement should prove to be entirely suitable. Let's proceed to carefully remove your designated marker from this precise location. I will carefully control its overall saturation level within this specific section of the video. Mask amplitude, I'll place it in this section, and I will now proceed to add a vibrant touch of green to the light shadow, carefully integrating it to enhance the visual depth and overall aesthetic. For the subsequent step, as I previously indicated, my intention is to apply a direction blur effect. However, upon further consideration, it seems that in this particular context, utilizing a more general blur filter would likely be considerably more appropriate and yield a more desirable outcome. At this particular stage of the process, I will endeavor to proceed with the very same mask that has been previously established, and in these specific sections, I will carefully and precisely apply this mask. I will then proceed to accurately place it, subsequently rotate it to the desired orientation, and then increase its size appropriately. Following these adjustments, I will then exit this current mode of operation, and in this subsequent section, I will diligently try to control the semi-contrast here, aiming for an optimal visual balance. I'll bring in the prepared highlight, and from the next layer, I'll temporarily enter the fill block. I'll remove the fill and I'll set the white for you. Very well, let's turn it off. And from this section we will carefully and thoroughly check our completed work. The red extraction process is indeed quite good and performs very effectively. Additionally, it offers a variety of different and interesting effects that can be utilized. I have thoroughly checked and confirmed this for the specific task at hand, so you are encouraged to try it out with this particular change as well. I hope you have a truly great and productive day.